What's up, everybody? Welcome to our junior high interactive family experience. My name is Pastor Ethan, and I'm so excited that you and the family are participating today. Now, guys, can we just talk about the fact that it snowed this week? I mean, I went to bed, I think it was Tuesday night, and it started to snow, and I was like, that's odd for the middle of April. And then I wake up Wednesday morning and bam, like 3 inches of snow, like this much snow on the ground. And I had to break out the snow shovel to clean off our car. I mean, crazy. Now, yes, we typically do get snow once or twice in the spring, but it's still a huge surprise every single time it happens. And speaking of surprises, I have a special surprise for you today. In a moment, we're going to give you an opportunity to sign our guest book and let us know you are here today. Then we're going to move into a brand new teaching series called Habits. But before we get into our series, I have something special up my sleeve just for you. Now, it's not literally up my sleeve, but we are going to have a family competition this morning called Back to the Drawing Board. And here's the surprise. This is where the surprise is. Anyone who takes a photo of you and the family playing and posts it on our LakePoint Junior High Facebook group will receive a Tim Hortons gift card. So hold on to your hats as we get into our video today, because just in a few minutes, I'm going to tell you what the challenge is all about. Now, I want to remind all of our parents watching this morning that you will be leading your students in a few different discussions based on today's series. So, those discussion topics can be found and downloaded from an email I sent out yesterday, and you can also find them in our Facebook group. If you didn't get that email, or if you haven't joined our Facebook group, make sure you let me know so we can send you that email, or we can send you an invite to join our Facebook group. Why? Because it's the best way to do these interactive experiences. It's by leading those discussions with your student. In fact, it's the entire reason why we do this every single week, so that you can have a clearer window into the spiritual development of your student. And so you're able to create a space where you're helping them grow into everything God created them to be. So, if you need to pause the video, if you need to go download those discussion questions and guides, please do that now. Well, we're about to get into our series, but before we do, we would love to hear from you. We want to stay connected to you, and so we have something called a connection card where we can do that. The connection card is found right on the main page of the LakePoint app, and it's quick and easy to find. And so let's take the next 60 seconds and fill out our guest book. Thanks so much for completing the connection card this morning. Now, every week here at Junior High, we have some friendly family competition, and today, you and the family are going to be putting your artistic skills and your ability to give instructions to the test. This is a game called Back to the Drawing Board. And in this game, all you need is 2 players, 2 pieces of blank paper, and some sort of writing or drawing utensil. what player number 1 is going to do is they are going to think of a really simple image to draw, like a smiley face. And then they have to explain to player number 2 how to draw the image without telling them what the image is. So if it was a smiley face, now you can't choose a smiley face anymore, but if it was a smiley face, player 1 might say, draw a circle in the middle of the page, draw 2 smaller circles on the inside of the circle you just drew, one on the top right, one on the top left. And then you're gonna post a photo of that drawing on our LakePoint Junior High Facebook group, and you'll automatically get a Tim Hortons gift card. I mean, free Timbits just for posting a photo. That is amazing if you ask me. I'd do anything for Timbits. Anyway, we are going to get drawing in 3, 2, 1, go. I am so excited to see your drawings on Facebook. As soon as I see those photos in the group, I will text or email you a gift card. All right, well, we are switching gears. We are actually going to head into the teaching portion of junior high, and I'm so excited for this week as we head into a brand new series that's all about habits. Check it out.
I don't know about you, but I am totally the friend who sees something on social media and for sure direct messages it to everybody that I think would appreciate it. Like, I'm the annoying friend where every day, if you look in your inbox, you're gonna see like a link to an article, a link to a funny TikTok, an Instagram post. I do this every day, and my friends give me a hard time about it because when something's an everyday thing in our lives, we often call that a habit. Another way to say it is that habits are routine behaviors that we tend to do a lot. Things that are everyday kind of things. Our habits might be things like waking up at a certain time each day, or brushing our teeth, playing Xbox every day after school, chewing gum all the time, or scrolling through Instagram before we go to sleep. Some of us may do these things every once in a while, but others of us, well, we do them every day. They happen on a regular basis in our lives, and the more we do them, the more they become habit. You might be wondering, why are we talking about this? Well, because we want to help you develop some new daily habits. Things that you can do every day to help you get to know God better. Things that will make your relationship with God the center of an everyday kind of faith. What does it look like to connect with God? Well, let's start by thinking about the way you connect with your best friend. You care about your best friend and you want your relationship to grow, right? You want to know a lot about them and you want to be known. So you make an effort to do things that will help you stay close and connected. You talk or you text a lot. You hang out together. You do things that you both like to do. You make a habit of staying close and connected to them. And the more you do it, the better your relationship is. The same can be true with God. If we want to know Him better and keep growing in our faith, we have to make a habit of doing things every day that help us stay connected to Him. But for a lot of us, the idea of connecting with God is, well, a little confusing. Maybe you've been coming to church your whole life. Maybe you've been singing the songs, reading the Bible, and praying all the prayers, and you feel like you're doing all the right things. You're following all the rules and doing what you think God says you're supposed to do, but somehow you feel like it just isn't working. Ultimately, you don't feel closer to God no matter what you do. Or maybe you're new to all this faith stuff, and even though you believe in God, you don't feel like much has changed in your heart or life. You thought things were supposed to be different once you decided to believe in God, but you sort of just feel the same. Have you ever wondered, like, am I doing this wrong? 'Cause I don't really feel connected to God at all. Or maybe you have no idea what to think about God. You're not even sure you want to connect with Him because you aren't sure He's even out there. I How do you connect with a God who's invisible? And why would you want to try if you're not even sure you believe in him in the first place? I think that no matter where you are on your faith journey, one thing is true for all of us. At the end of the day, we're all sort of asking the same questions. What does it really mean to connect with God? Why should I even want to connect with God? And what will connecting with God do for me right now? If you're asking any of those questions, I'm glad we're hanging out. Jesus actually explains what this looks like in a conversation he had with his disciples. The disciples were Jesus' closest followers while he was on earth. They were all eating together in what ended up being the last meal before Jesus was killed. The disciples were anxious because Jesus kept saying he was going to go away and they couldn't go with him. This was stressing the disciples out because they had no idea what Jesus leaving would mean for them. So, Jesus told the disciples something that would help them in the days ahead. Let's take a look. Yes, I am the vine, you are the branches. Those who remain in me and I in them will produce much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. Now, I imagine the disciples may have been like vines and branches, like in a garden. What does gardening have to do with us? You might be thinking the same thing right now. Well, it's important to know that things like vines and branches were a part of their everyday world back then. Jesus picked these examples because he knew the disciples would understand them as he explained. So, what did Jesus mean when he called himself the vine? Well, you see, the branches depend on the vine completely. The vine is the foundation. It's the source of life. So in order to survive and thrive, the branches have to stay connected to the vine. So what Jesus was saying in this passage was that if the disciples wanted to keep going and growing in their faith, they had to find a way to stay connected to Jesus every day. Think about it like this. If you want your phone to keep working after the battery dies, what do you have to do? You plug it in. Your phone needs to be connected to the charger in order to keep working. Just like a branch needs to be connected to the vine to survive. A phone needs to be plugged into the charger in order to keep working. So basically, if Jesus were telling this to us today, he might say, I am the charger and you are the phone. In order to keep working, you need to be plugged into me. Or, as Jesus said, you need to remain in me. That's simply another way of saying that we need to stay connected with Jesus. Why? Because when we do, we'll produce much fruit. See, in order for branches to grow and flourish, they have to stay connected to the vine. As soon as they're removed or taken apart from the vine, they stop producing fruit the way they were meant to. They stop being able to grow. The same is true for us when it comes to our connection with God. And Jesus makes that connection possible for us. When Jesus died on the cross and rose from the dead, he took away the barrier that was between us and God. He created a way for us to directly connect to God himself. And if we stay connected with him, our lives will show it. Our relationships, our attitude, our choices, our words, all of that will be better because we're connected to God. If we stay close to him, we'll see the results of that in our lives, and we'll learn more about God in the process. Because connecting with God helps us know him better. And just like our phones need to connect to the source of power to keep working, we need to connect with God to keep going and growing in our faith. If we want to know more about God, and if we want our lives to show it, we have to stay connected to him. Because connecting with God helps us know him better. And when we connect with him, we better understand his goodness, his love, his compassion for us, and his perfect plan for our life. So, how can we do this? I think there really are two key pieces. First, spend time with God. Maybe for you, that means making time to read your Bible or pray or sing worship songs or write some thoughts in your journal. Or maybe it's listening to music or going on a walk outdoors. Maybe it's just a commitment to show up here again next week. Whatever it is, I want you to make spending time with God a priority this week. No matter what you feel or don't feel, just commit to giving it a shot. Commit to showing up, to spending time with him, to connecting with him, because connecting with God helps us know him better. Second, do it every day. On the days when you feel disconnected from God, don't stop spending time with him, because the best way to reconnect is to keep spending time together. And the more time you spend together, the more connected you become. The best relationships in your life didn't become great after one conversation or hangout or experience. No, they grew over time. You had to keep showing up, keep talking, keep spending time together. The same is true with God. So, make your faith a priority every day. Even when you feel disconnected from God, try to make it a habit and watch how your life changes because of it. Remember, connecting with God helps us know Him better. The more you make connecting with God a habit in your life, the more you'll get to know Him. If you're not sure where to start, I want you to consider starting today in your group. We have groups so that you can talk about things like this together. So open up to your group today about what connecting with God means to you.
Listen, the goal of this series is to help you better know and connect with God by developing some habits that can make your faith an everyday part of your life. It's important to know that we connect with God through relationship, not just by doing stuff. I mean, doing those things are great. Practicing habits on a regular basis is a great way for us to connect with God. But it's not something that we do to earn or keep or win God's love and approval. It's not to please Him or make Him happy. It's to connect with Him and get to know Him more. Guys, I don't think there's a more important time to be connected more with God than right now. I mean, there's so many things going on in our world that can cause confusion and frustration and anger and sadness. And when we experience those feelings, we often say, God is a good God, so why can't He make all these bad things go away? And I'm a good person, so why are these bad things happening around me and maybe even to me? Sometimes even just talking about all this COVID stuff can make us feel distant from God, like He's not even really there. But I don't think that's necessarily accurate. I don't think God is distant or forgotten about us at all. I think He's just waiting for us to say, God, I want to be more connected to You. And so this week I'm going to do one thing, just one thing to get to know You more. And what is that one thing we can do? Well, we can simply just spend time with God. Maybe for you that means taking time to read your Bible or pray or sing worship songs or write some thoughts in your journal. Maybe it's taking a walk at Point Pelee or sitting on your deck and watching the sun go down. Maybe it's just a commitment to watching junior high every week during lockdown and having great discussions with your parents about each week's topic. Whatever it is, I want you to make spending time with God a priority this week. And whatever you decide to do, try and do it every day. I think one of the biggest reasons why we feel distant from God is because we only spend time with Him on Sundays. One of the best ways to feel like you know someone is to hang out with them every single day. So pick a time, pick a location, and pick a habit that you're going to start doing today and every day this week. Remember, connecting with God helps us know Him better. And the more we connect with Him, the more we'll get to know Him. Thank you so much for participating today, everyone. Remember to post a photo of you and your family participating today in our LakePoint Junior High Facebook group, and you could be the proud winner of a Tim Hortons gift card. Just think of all the Timbits. All right, to close our time this morning, take the next 2 minutes to pray together as a family, and then head to the LakePoint app to access our weekday devotionals that go along with our series. You'll find those in the Family Resources section. You can also find the link in the video description right below me. Have a wonderful week, friends. We'll see you next week.